Hey, babe. I got some spooky stories for you today.
And you think I'm gonna believe those?
I think I can change your mind.
Good luck.
I still love that intro. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Make Me Believe podcast. Please join us by the campfire as I tell my wonderful wife, Kaylin, over here. You want to say hi?
Hello.
Some scary stories and efforts of making her believe in the paranormal, supernatural, and frankly, anything that goes bump in the night.
And my lovely husband Adrian, that's you. You want to say hi?
Hello.
I think you are not succeeding.
Really?
Yeah, because do you know what my life's goal is?
What is your life's goal?
It's to scare the living daylights out of you, and it's
Me?
so much easier to do with this kind of stuff than it is me.
What? Why is that your goal?
Because it's hilarious to see you run like a little girl when you see a doll.
I do not run like a little girl.
Oh, okay. I wish I'd gotten the recording of you at that estate sale.
Listen, I didn't run away
You
from it. I just
you
did not enter it.
You ran away
Did,
like a little girl.
did not. I just did
Okay.
not enter that room. That's all it
Sure,
was.
honey.
Don't.
Sure.
You ain't got to
Sure.
lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie.
Who the hell is Craig?
Oh my goodness. Listen, that hurt a lot of people. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's
I think it only hurt you because I don't
no,
know.
no, because everybody knows Friday. All
Oh,
right.
I know it. Bye, Felicia. That's all I know.
That's all you know, because that's all you've seen. So you know what? We're gonna have.
No, we are
We're
not.
gonna have a movie
I
night.
am not going to watch that.
Y-
I
That
have no interest in watching that movie.
that hurts.
I
Why?
know. I don't know. It's just,
It's such a great movie.
no, I'm good. What are you over here messing with your mic? What do you break it?
It kind of fell apart on me, so I had to fix it, and I adjusted it, and it adjusted way too much, and I was like, oh shit. So, anywho,
Uh-oh.
um, so, um, hi, hello.
Hi.
It's today's been a day.
We are incredibly tired.
Yes, incredibly tired.
And why are you so tired? Like, what did you do yesterday that made you so tired today?
Um, I went to go see one of my all-time favorite bands that I've been listening. Been listening to them as a kid, and I loved them then, and I have not stopped loving them, and that is the great Matchbox 20.
Ah, so you went to their concert,
I did, I did.
and that concert was almost 2 hours away.
Yes, it
And
was.
that concert was at 8 p.m.
Yes,
And
and
you didn't get home till 1 a.m.
yeah, that was a little, oy. That was a little rough for me because usually I'm in bed by 10.
Yeah. It was because this is normal for me. Like, it was being up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. That's nothing to me.
That's normal.
What
Yeah,
I hate is the fact that your damn alarm went off and we got less than 5 hours of sleep.
yeah, yeah. I was planning on going in today, so I set an alarm. Um, Yesterday at some point. I don't remember setting it
I
because I
don't
was
think
like,
we
I
remember
forgot.
anything really from.
Yeah, I was like, I need to set an alarm because I plan on going in on Sunday. I gotta catch up on paperwork, get this inspection set, float out,
I
and
thought your friend did that, or your.
he did. But
Oh, okay.
like I'm in charge of the project, so he just stepped in and helped.
Oh,
So
he's so nice.
I'm the one ultimately responsible for the project, so I have to
Well,
keep my head on it.
you're busy because
Yes,
it's the weekend and you have family things.
yes. So I decided. I mean, I've gone into work exhausted before. That's fine. But the thing is I try not to go into work whenever the kids are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screw me. It does. I'm not important.
No, I want to see you
Yeah,
all the time
whatever.
too. But that's a very limited time with the kids. So
Limited. They live here.
yeah, I know. But like as they're kids,
I do the
still
math. It's
younger.
like 67% of the time.
Yeah, but still, like no. Like I'll grow old with you, and they'll grow old. They'll get older.
You're kicking them out when they graduate high school.
Oh yeah, 100%. As soon as they hit 18,
Boom.
boom,
You
kick them
can't.
out.
You can't. Jonah won't be. He won't have graduated at 18.
Yeah, that's right.
He's
So
gonna.
as soon as he's graduated from high school,
Yeah.
Noah will graduate on time. Um,
Yeah.
but as soon as he's done with high school, flick him out.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, it's a very limited time with the kids. And so, I like as they're kids growing up till they're
The little
18.
one will constantly remind you in 3 years he's a
Yeah.
teenager.
Yeah, that little butthole. I love him to death, but he constantly wants to just hurt me.
I know. Today he reached up and turned the light on the ceiling fan in the living room,
Yeah.
and only had to barely step on his tippy toes.
Yeah. But whenever we first moved into this house, Jonah had to get a chair to reach
Yes.
up, and now Jonah's 15, and he doesn't even lift his arm all the way up.
Yeah.
He just lifts it just a little bit over his head, turns it on.
Dink. Yep.
Noah, he just now he could reach it.
Yeah.
What the hell? Where did the time go?
He used to have to go, Jenna, can you come turn this on?
Yeah.
Mom, I need help.
I guess so. So, anywho, yeah. So we're both exhausted.
What else is really fun to do to him is the oldest one is officially in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and he has. We had to go through and um, with his academic advisor and get all of his courses and stuff finalized for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to look at all of his courses and had to approve all the stuff for the credits. Just let okay, I understand that he has to complete this. I understand he has to complete that. Acknowledging all the stuff that he has to do for high school, and you're not happy about it.
I'm not happy about it. Just where did the time go?
Behind us, unfortunately.
Ugh, I don't like it.
I know.
Hmm.
You'll be okay.
Yeah.
So we're not all here.
Yeah. No, I had a couple hours ago. I had a very large iced coffee. I think it has like 2 shots of espresso before.
Espresso.
That's what I said.
You did not.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Anyhow, so I think I had like 3 shots of espresso in it.
You're about to get kicked in the knee.
For what? Anywho, I'm surviving. So I got a story for you today.
A story?
Yes, because rumor has it.
I have a story.
What?
My story is long as hell.
Yeah, there we go.
So,
I'm super excited for it.
yeah.
You were in there for a while and just like doing research and
Yeah.
getting it all put together. Like I'm excited.
It's going to be. This is why I know that none of the how I don't believe in any of this stuff, because I find the most fascinating things to be like haunted houses and people being having entities, air quotes there, being attached to them. I find that stuff fascinating, but I don't believe in any of it. So
Rude as hell.
I know, it's so great. I love it.
All right. Well, you just want to go ahead and jump into this?
I mean, if that's how you're feeling, because
I'm feeling froggy.
you're not feeling froggy because
No.
you don't have the energy bounce to do with frogginess.
I don't.
He's
but...
about to yawn right now, guys. We're boring him. Do you hear that?
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Ow. Okay. All right. Well, then let's. Are you ready?
Bring it on.
All right. Here we go. Okay. All right. Well. All right. So let's just jump. What?
Was this a short one, medium one, longy? What do you got for me?
This is a medium to longy.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Since I was like, since I'm reading only one, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it the one. A good one.
Okay. I like it.
All right. So, have you ever dealt with something that's just persistent? Like, it's very persistent and very, you got a smile on your face.
Continue. I'm curious.
Yeah, something persistent that you just can't get rid of and won't take no for an answer. That's not me.
Oh. I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, then, let's get into this story, and it is titled "Something Keeps Trying to Get Invited into My House."
Oh, hell to the no.
Yeah. And it is by Reddit user No Cardiologist 1353.
Clearly, you're going to need a cardiologist if something's trying to get in your house.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's go.
Don't ever knock on my front door. Don't even try it. If you're a salesman, keep stepping. If you're a Girl Scout, move on to the next house. We don't care if you see us through the window or hear us behind the door. We will never open it. We don't know who we can trust anymore. All we know is whatever is outside can't enter unless we let it in. It all started about a week ago, when I was home alone. My wife and two boys were spending the week at their mother's place in Phoenix while I begrudgingly stayed behind so my boss wouldn't think of my name when our company's downsizing inevitably reached our branch. In my heart, I longed to be soaking up the sun with my family, but reality found me sacrificing my vacation days in hopes of keeping my job. 5 o'clock came and put an end to Monday, and I didn't linger around the office for a second. On my way home, I stopped by my favorite Chinese takeout. If I couldn't enjoy the company of my family, I could at least enjoy the company of General Tso. Pulling my car into the garage, I quickly changed into some sweatpants and a plain t-shirt, slipped on my slippers, and settled into my favorite lazy boy recliner. As I flipped on the TV and opened my takeout, I sighed away the day's stress and prepared to relax. It had been barely 15 minutes before my peace was interrupted by the loud sound of the doorbell. I rolled my eyes and muttered to myself, "Great. Just great." When I opened the door, I was met by one of the strangest sights I have ever seen. Before me, on the threshold of my home, was a salesman. Not a salesman you might see wandering around the modern neighborhoods, dressed in bright polos, khaki shorts, trying to sell you solar panels or a new roof. No. The salesman before me looked like he had stepped out of the 1960s. He wore black, perfectly polished formal dress shoes, a light gray three-piece tweeded suit, and a matching gray fedora. The man himself was the picture-perfect 1960s man. He was tall and thin. His brown hair was skillfully cut and styled. His face cleanly shaven, and his teeth were perfectly straight and dazzling white. In one hand, he held a brown leather briefcase, and at his side was a very old Hoover vacuum. As our eyes met, he smiled, removed his fedora, and in the quick yet soothing voice of an old-fashioned baseball announcer, he said, "Good evening, sir. Always a pleasure to see a fellow citizen. I'm here on behalf of the Hoover Company. If I could, I'd like to come inside and take a moment to demonstrate to you the marvelous of the modern home vacuum."
Oh, no.
I couldn't help but chuckle a little. "Wow," I said. "That's some getup. I feel sorry for you having to wear that in this heat. Is Hoover celebrating an anniversary or something?" The salesman didn't drop the act. No, sir. Nothing special, just the regular Hoover treatment. May I come in?"
No.
I squinted my eyes slightly. No. At this, his smile dropped.
Uh-oh.
He stared blankly for a moment before saying, "You won't let me in?"
No.
"No," I said again. "Why not?" he asked in a quieter voice. "Look, man, this is my house, and I don't need a reason to not let you in." He stared blankly at me before whispering, "Please?" I could feel my temper getting the best of me. "No! Now get lost!"
Woo!
With that, I slammed the door in his face and backed up into the entryway. But through the fogged glass of the front door, I could still see his silhouette just standing there on my porch. I held my breath and stared, hoping he would leave. After about 3 minutes, he hadn't moved,
What the hell?
and I lost my temper. I swung the door open and yelled into his wide smile, Get off my porch right now, or I am calling the cops. He stared. His smile only seemed to widen. After half a minute, he walked backwards off the porch. His eyes never left mine, nor did his smile lower until he reached the sidewalk. At that point, he turned and walked off. I couldn't help but feel uncomfortable. So I locked the front door as I returned to the recliner. I finished my dinner, enjoyed a few hours of the TV show, and headed off to bed. At 1 a.m., the silence of my house was shattered by the doorbell.
What the freaking hell?
I don't know how long it had been ringing before it woke me. Barely awake, I stumbled out of bed and into the hallway, praying that this was a dream. As I approached the front door, a bright light sent a long shadow of a man into my house. Opening the door, the light was blinding, and it took a moment for my sleepy eyes to adjust. As they did, the figure before me spoke in a loud, authoritative voice. "Sir, I'm with the police. We received a complaint with this address earlier today. May I come in and discuss the details?"
No, you may not.
My mind was barely keeping up, and in confusion, I replied, Wait, what are you talking about?" "Just following up on the call we received. May I come in and take your statement?" My confused mind began to catch up. I never called the police today. I know for a fact that no one else did either. The figure was silent for a moment before saying, "All the same, sir. If I could come in, we could clear this all up."
No.
It was at this point that I noticed the man's uniform. It was old. The type of uniform worn back in the 80s. In fact, the man's entire appearance was like something out of a police TV show.
Oh no.
The worn, dark aviator sunglasses, and his face was home to a thick handlebar mustache. I looked at him and asked, "What's your badge number?" He didn't reply.
Ooh, no.
"Do you have a warrant?" "No," came the simple answer. "Well, then you can't come in." "If I had one, would you let me in?" I didn't answer. I just slammed and locked the door. The man banged his fist on the door for about 15 minutes before giving up and leaving. And after calming down for about an hour, I finally fell back asleep. When morning came, I found it easy to convince myself that last night's interaction was nothing but an odd dream. I blamed it on the cheap Chinese food. But after a short shower and simple breakfast, I soon forgot about the event. Work was nothing special. It was just the daily grind of an underpaid accountant for a shrinking company. I missed my family, and I wished more than anything that I had gone with them. 5 o'clock came, and I didn't linger. Soon I was trapped in the prison of rush hour. It was 6:30 by the time I pulled into my quiet neighborhood, and as I reached my house, I noticed a figure standing on my front porch.
Oh, son of a biscuit.
It was a man. He was dressed in a light gray jumpsuit, similar to the ones a janitor or a plumber might wear in a movie. He stood facing the door. One hand was raised and limply yet constantly knocking on the door. "No way," I said in disbelief, as I passed the front of the house to the garage on the side of the house. As I passed by, the man noticed, and his head slowly turned to me and followed me as I disappeared around the corner. The last thing I saw before my car went behind the house was a man leaving the porch and walking towards the garage.
Oh, hell no.
"Not again," I muttered aloud. By the time I parked and exited my car, he was already there,
Oh no.
standing just outside the open garage door, as if an invisible wall stopped him from coming any closer. Hello, he said in a cheerful voice. We received a call earlier about a busted pipe, and no one has answered the door. May I come in and take a look? I stared at him as he spoke, and not once did I see him blink. A wide smile crossed his face as he finished, as if it was his default expression. No, no one called you. No one has even been here all day. So, get out of here, I said, somewhat annoyed. The corner of his mouth twitched slightly, and through the gritted teeth of his smile, he said, So you're here alone? I swallowed and replied harshly, That is none of your business. Now leave. At that, as if a switch was flipped, he returned to the expressions and movements of a charismatic tradesman. Really, sir, I must insist. Just let me come in and take a look. Dealing with a flooded basement isn't a relaxing way to spend the evening. No, I must insist that you leave right now and don't ever come back. His unblinking eyes narrowed at that. The unreal smile returned as he backed away. As he reached the end of my driveway, I heard him quietly say, See you later.
Oh, hell no.
With a loud sigh, I closed my garage door and headed upstairs to change out of my work clothes and shower. I had hoped to grill that night for dinner. I had set out some steaks to defrost when I left for work that morning. But shortly after I got out of the shower, it began to rain. Not wanting to give up on my dreams of a good steak, I decided to just leave the grill in the garage and pull out one of the cars and leave the garage open to let the smoke out. The smell of the cooking meat mixed with the cool, earthy smell of rain calmed my nerves and momentarily made me forget about both work and the strange solicitors. Just as the steaks finished cooking, the storm outside became noticeably stronger. I soon noticed a figure running in the heavy rain. It took me a second to realize that they were running right towards my garage.
Bro.
It appeared to be a young girl, no older than 12 years old. She ran as fast as she could, but when she reached the threshold of the garage, she stopped instantly. I glared cautiously at her. Even in the rain, it was obvious that she was crying. And for a moment, I let my guard down. I had many strange visitors over the last few days, but this was a little girl who needed help.
Is it though? Is it really?
I subconsciously moved closer to the entrance of the garage. Hey, are you okay? Do you need help? I asked as my fatherly instincts overtook me. Through sobs and sniffles, she replied weakly, They're chasing me. They want to hurt me. Please help me. I took another step closer.
No, don't do that.
Who's chasing you? How can I help? At that question, a thin grin broke across the girl's face, and she said, Can I come inside? I don't think they'll find me if I'm in there. At that, something in the back of my mind broke through my fatherly concerns. Something wasn't right.
Nope.
I stared intensely at that little girl's face. Her unblinking eyes gazed back. A chill ran down my back, and I realized that I recognized this girl. Everyone in this area knew who she was. This was the Johnson girl. Last summer, she was snatched while riding her bike to a friend's house.
No.
The whole community searched for weeks. Her devastated parents regularly pleaded with her kidnapper on the local news, and for months there was no sign of her. But at the end of September, her body was found,
Oh no.
floating face down in the nearby reservoir. The thing in front of me wore the same clothes the Johnson girl was wearing when her body was found: a white long-sleeved T-shirt, a dark blue jeans, and mud stains around the knees. The smile on its face widened as we stared into each other's eyes. The fingers of its left hand twitched violently. My throat was dry as I squeaked out one question. What are you? At this, the thing violently tilted its head to the side before cheerfully replying through clenched teeth. I'm a little girl. Instantly, her face dropped the smile as the facade of this distressing crying girl returned. And I really need to hide in your house. Please, mister. They'll get me. A cold sweat ran down my forehead as I slowly shook my head no. Go away, I stuttered. At this, a low growl escaped the little girl's lips as malice filled her eyes. For one terrible second, neither of us moved. Then in a flash, she lurched towards me, but as she tried to break the plane of the doorway, she froze as if she hit an unseen wall. And she screamed, Let me in! Over and over and over again, she swung her fist towards it as if banging on an invisible door. I didn't even bother to take the steaks off the grill. As I turned, I hit the garage door button and ran into the house. That night was awful. Whatever was outside my house didn't leave. Instead, it spent the night screaming and banging on every door and window of my house. And the scream was terrible. It was angry and primal. With every bang, I feared the windows would shatter or the door would give out. But they didn't. They creaked and shifted, but they held. I couldn't sleep. The thing wouldn't let me. Even on the second floor, I heard violent bangs and angry screams at my bedroom window.
Oh, hell.
Every now and then, I'd see its shadow under the lights of passing cars. Sometimes it was the shadow of a little girl, and sometimes it was the shadow of a fedora-wearing salesman or a police officer. But no matter the shadow, the screams remained the same raspy, inhumane screams that I first heard in the garage. I spent the night huddled in the upstairs bathroom as a violent fit shook the foundation of the house. Morning came, and exactly 30 minutes after sunrise, the banging and the screaming stopped. After a night of noise, the house seemed unnaturally quiet. I slowly I left the bathroom and cautiously peered out of the bedroom window. And outside, I saw nothing unusual. It seemed to be an ordinary day in my ordinary neighborhood. Making my way downstairs, I found myself checking every window and every door. But I saw nothing. Not so much as a scratch on the glass or a damaged plant in the yard. Nothing that pointed to the noise from the night before. I felt like I was losing my mind, but I didn't want to leave the house. I frantically called my boss, claiming I was sick. I told him I probably wouldn't be in for a few days. And sarcastically, he replied, Just know, I'll remember this in a few months.
Oh.
I didn't care. Being laid off was the least of my concerns. The next few days were a nightmare. Every evening, around 7 p.m., a figure would stand on my porch and knock on the door. Hello? Anyone in there? May I come in? Please? Sometimes it asked in a voice of a little girl's. Sometimes it pretended to be the police, or it would speak in a smooth voice of a salesman. It had some new voices, too. May I come in? Asked an elderly woman. Come on, man. Let me in, said a teenage boy. Sometimes it tried accents, but it always got them wrong. One time it started in a Russian accent and finished in a heavy Hispanic accent. Its British accent was strangely mixed with a deep Southern accent, but it kept trying. With every passing hour, it grew more and more angry and more violent. The calm tone slowly grew angry and eventually would scream. The knocking would just turn to banging, but every morning, 30 minutes after sunrise, it would all stop. I hadn't slept in days, and I was terrified to go outside. Dread was growing in my mind because I knew soon I had to go out. My wife and sons were flying home. My boys started high school baseball practice this coming week, and they needed to get back in time to be ready. And I was supposed to pick them up from the airport. I knew I couldn't ask my wife to get an Uber. I would never be able to trust that they were real unless I saw them exiting the plane myself. I knew I would never be able to trust that they were real unless I saw them exiting the plane myself. So, with shaking hands, I used the button to open the garage. I stood and watched for a few moments, but no one walked by. After building up some courage, I hopped in my car, closed the garage, and headed off to the airport. It was so good to see my wife and boys. After several sleepless nights and days of isolation, just their presence was a breath of fresh air. I pulled my wife in for a hug, and as we separated, she looked me over. "Dear, you look terrible," she said, full of concern. I'll explain later," I said with a weak smile. "It's just really good to see you." She smiled and quickly kissed me on the cheek. "We missed you," she said. On the car ride home, I tried to explain the situation to them. I told them that for the last couple of days, strange people have been trying to get into our house. I'm sure it sounded crazy as I tried to tell them about the vacuum salesman from the 1960s or the little dead girl. When I told them about the banging and screaming in the night and suggested that maybe we spend a few nights in a hotel, my wife looked over to me and gently laid her hand on my arm before saying, "Are you feeling okay, honey?" My youngest son jokingly said, "Have you been smoking weed, Dad?" My wife quickly interjected, "I'm sure you're just stressed and haven't been sleeping well. I'll be sure to rub your shoulders tonight." I didn't know what to say, so I just nodded. After all, they would see what I was talking about at 7. The afternoon moved by slowly as my family unpacked their things. I found myself packing a bag. I wanted to be ready to leave in the morning after they experienced what I had. 7 p.m. came, but to my surprise, no strange visitors came with it. I sat near the front door looking at my clock, but nothing. No knocking, no voices from the other side of the door. It was surprisingly normal. At 8:30, I let out a cautious sigh of relief. Maybe it was gone. Maybe the events of the week were just some elaborate prank by the neighbors. I paced around the house until 9:45, when my wife asked if I was coming to bed. As promised, my wife rubbed my shoulders. Before long, I couldn't keep my weary eyes open any longer, and I drifted off to sleep. In the morning, I felt refreshed. I hadn't slept in days, and that night, I slept all the way through with no interruptions. I smiled and stretched, thinking to myself, I'm so glad this is over. I made my way to the kitchen where I made myself a cup of coffee and some toast, which I enjoyed while scrolling on Facebook. A few minutes later, my oldest son came down from the stairs and into the kitchen. He looked at me with a big grin on his face. I nodded and said, "Morning." He went to the cupboard to grab a bowl of cereal. As he did, with his back towards me, he said, "Hey, Dad, why did you need me to let you in last night?" The end.
Damn children!
I know. Oh my goodness. That was such a good story.
That was awesome.
That was a really good story.
I knew it was gonna be one
One of the kids.
Yeah, that was gonna let him in.
I was going for the wife.
I honestly thought for a minute there that like as he was going to sleep, that the wife was gonna go, "Thanks for letting me in."
Yeah,
Like that's
something.
what I.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But
Now they gotta move. You have to just burn the house down and move. You gotta go.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You don't know what your son just let in.
Yeah, he let in a vampire.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. But the shape shifting kind of steered me away from that. But there are some lores out there about shape shifting
Yeah,
vampires. So,
that was
oh,
trippy.
that was
That was really good.
that was a great story. Great story, beautifully written.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. I felt like I did a decent job narrating it.
Yeah, that was good. I liked that
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. High five, Adrian. Good
Whew.
job. Okay.
Yeah, that was. Whoo, boy, howdy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were active through that whole
I was
story.
like, oh no. We have a sign on our front
Yeah.
door that says no soliciting, and it lists all the things that I'm not interested in.
Mhm.
And then I have another sign that basically says, if you're on my property without my permission, I can shoot you.
Yep. Because Texas, baby. Texas.
Castle law.
There you go.
Anyway, so no,
No.
just
no.
see that's why I have a no soliciting sign, because people just come knocking on your door and you don't know who they are, and you should never tell people you're home alone ever.
Yeah, never.
Never.
Ever. Uh-uh.
That's like in Home Alone.
So you're home alone?
Yeah.
Oh, that was creepy.
Yeah, like
Whenever it said that, I
because
got
now
chill.
it's preparing. Now it's watching
Yeah.
because people are going to come back,
Mm-hmm.
and so it can prepare for how to get in with another. You should not.
Yeah, isolated people are the ones that you can break.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Because, there's safety in groups.
Yes.
Safety in
Sometimes.
numbers. Yeah, sometimes, unless, you're the kid. And,
You let in the bad guy.
yeah, after hearing,
That your dad said that this is what's happening.
yeah, ridiculous.
Because it wasn't. It was trying to beat you down so much.
Yeah, that you finally just give up.
it. But then when you introduce 3 new people who've had perfectly good sleep, and then you are knocking on the door and you look like your dad.
Yeah, they're like, what are you doing? Like, hey, son, you going to invite me in? Like, yeah, get in. Come in.
Yeah, no. Because that means he's been in the house all night.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Where is he? What's happening?
Oh, so many questions.
I want to know. Write a second part of this, please.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Oh my
Excellent.
gosh.
I loved it. Great job. Great
That was a
story.
good story. That very quickly made it to one of my top 5 favorites.
Really?
Stories. Yes.
Oh,
That was a really good story.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was a really, really good story.
A really good story. Okay. And I this person has a very big catalog of stories. So
Okay.
and we chatted a little bit. I got permission to read these stories.
Okay.
So maybe I'm gonna sprinkle a couple of them in there.
All right.
So
That's
can't
exciting.
wait to see what else you have written.
Yeah.
Very
this
excited
was
about it.
really good.
Yes.
Boy, howdy.
All right.
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, I think it's about time for us to get to your story.
Yeah. My story is going to be very interesting, to say the least.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm very excited. All right. Are you ready? Oh wait,
no,
I'm sorry.
it's not, am I ready? I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's more along the lines of, are you ready?
Bring it on.
The Black Monk of Pontefract. The Black Monk of Pontefract. In 1966, the Pritchard family moved into 30 East Drive, a small council house in Pontefract, England. There was nothing particularly unusual about the house. Joe and Jean Pritchard lived there with their 2 children, Philip and Diane. Then, during the August bank holiday, Joe and Jean went away, leaving 15-year-old Philip at home with his grandmother, Sarah. That was when the house began acting strangely. Philip and Sarah noticed a fine white dust falling through the living room. At first, they assumed it was plaster from the ceiling. Except, it wasn't coming from the ceiling. According to them, the powder seemed to appear in midair, below head height, before slowly drifting to the floor. Then, water began appearing in the kitchen. They cleaned it up. More appeared. Soon, the house seemed to come alive around them. Tea and sugar were scattered across the kitchen. A mechanical tea dispenser reportedly operated by itself. Lights switched on and off. Plants moved. Furniture shook hard enough to rattle the dishes inside. Eventually, Philip and his grandmother left the house. And then, almost as suddenly as it had started, everything stopped. For nearly 2 years, 30 East Drive was quiet until 1968. This time, whatever was inside the house seemed stronger. Objects were thrown, furniture moved, pictures were damaged. Strange banging echoed through the rooms. The family eventually gave their invisible house guest a name: Fred. And for a while, Fred was almost funny. Joe's skeptical sister Maud reportedly came to the house convinced there had to be a reasonable explanation for everything. According to the story, the refrigerator opened by itself, a jug of milk came out on its own, it moved across the kitchen, and poured itself directly over Maud's head. Then there were Maud's fur gloves. During an attempt to drive Fred away by singing "Onward Christian Soldiers," the gloves reportedly began moving by themselves, waving through the air as though an invisible person were conducting the family while they sang.
What the hell?
Sarah eventually grabbed the gloves with fire tongs, carried them outside, soaked them in paraffin, and set them on fire.
Okay.
But Fred wasn't always funny. As the disturbances continued, his attention seemed to settle on the Pritchards' daughter, Diane. And that's when things became frightening. Diane was reportedly slapped, pulled from her bed, her blankets were ripped away, heavy objects seemed to move toward her. Then one night, the family heard her scream. They rushed toward the staircase. Diane was laying on the stairs, and something they couldn't see appeared to be dragging her upward. Her family grabbed her and pulled. Whatever had Diane seemed to pull back. For several terrifying moments, they later claimed they were literally fighting an invisible force for her.
Wow.
Then, suddenly, it let go. Afterward, marks were reportedly found around Diane's throat. And eventually, the thing the Pritchard had been calling Fred was seen. Witnesses described a tall, dark human figure wearing what looked like a long robe or hood. Joe and Jean reportedly saw it. Philip and Diane reportedly saw something similar. Even their neighbor, May Mountain, later described seeing a tall, dark, monk-like figure. And that sighting would eventually give Fred another name: the Black Monk of Pontefract. Years later, researchers began digging into the history of Pontefract. The town really did have a medieval Clunic priory, and stories developed about a monk who had supposedly committed a terrible crime against a young girl before being executed. There was just one problem. Researchers couldn't actually find convincing historical evidence that this murderous monk ever existed. The monastery was real. The monk's horrifying backstory apparently wasn't. So whatever happened inside 30 East Drive, nobody can confidently say it was the ghost of a monk. Eventually, the disturbances stopped. The Pritchards didn't flee the house. In fact, Jean remained there for decades. But Diane apparently never completely forgot what happened. Years later, when filmmaker Pat Holden spoke with her while researching when the lights went out, she returned to East Drive. But according to Holden, there was one room she still refused to enter: the lounge. Today, 30 East Drive still stands. People visit it specifically to investigate the haunting. Visitors have reported bangs, shadows, moving objects, and the feeling that someone, or something, is still inside the house. Maybe they're experiencing Fred. Maybe they're experiencing an old building after walking into it already knowing one of Britain's most famous ghost stories. Nobody knows. And that's probably where this story should end. Not with the murderous monk, not with the movie, not even with Diane on the staircase, but back in 1966, before anyone had heard of Fred, before anyone called him the Black Monk, before the house was famous, a 15-year-old boy and his grandmother were standing in an ordinary living room, watching white dust slowly fall through the air. They couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Nearly 60 years later, neither can we.
Ooh, okay. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
When you look at it, it looks much longer, but apparently I read faster than
All right.
than what's there. Yeah, but that's an allegedly
I don't like that you
used air quotes.
Air quotes on that one.
Yeah.
I have heard of that. I never really went into detail.
Yeah.
I never went in depth on it. But that's really Fascinating.
There's some other stuff that it didn't get put in there, but there was some allegedly some green foam that kept coming out of taps or
Like,
the toilet.
oh wow. Okay.
Um, Things were constantly thrown at Diane. Apparently, at one point, her mattress got dropped on her.
The hell?
She was apparently ripped from her bed like a dozen times in one night.
Mm-hmm.
Plants would just mysteriously appear on the staircase.
Holy crap.
Yeah, pictures would be knocked off the wall. Furniture would get moved. A big heavy oak sideboard apparently levitated in the air for a few seconds.
Why are you rolling your eyes?
Because, you know. Yeah, so they would call him Mr. Nobody or Fred. But
That's utterly hilarious that they called him Fred.
yeah. It's a
Like,
very boring name.
it is.
And like
It-
for a poltergeist, it's a boring name. Like
Yeah.
you usually have some sort of like
yeah, like his real name was Balthazar.
yeah, something like that.
It's like, nah, you're Fred to me.
Yeah.
Like, you're in my house.
Yeah.
You're my bitch.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting that the lights would turn on and off,
Yeah.
and they had nobody would be in the room,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it centered around the boy at
Mhm.
first, and then it stopped, and then 2 years later it centered around the girl.
Ooh.
So he was 15 when it started,
Uh-huh.
and then when it came back around, she was 14. So they
Okay.
were both around the same age. And if we remember from a few episodes back, poltergeists generally, air
Generally.
quotes again, um, they seem to show up around adolescence.
Yes. I do remember that. That was from our Poltergeist episode.
Yes, I think was that the one where we were talking about, the one in Indiana, where they had like 200 demonic entities or whatever in it.
Oh yeah. There was that, and then there was the I think it was like episode 2 or 3. They're here.
Oh, yeah.
The real life.
Yeah.
What the movie The Poltergeist was based on
Yeah,
as well.
I find poltergeists fascinating because
Right?
I think because usually they're violent.
Yeah.
And allegedly, this particular haunting is one of the most violent poltergeists in Britain.
Nice.
So, or England. I don't remember how
Yeah.
they categorized it, but still.
They probably said that because it spilled tea.
Probably.
Yeah.
But it did not. It was interesting as it wasn't violent with the boy, with
Yeah.
Philip. But it was incredibly violent with Diane.
Did not like Diane.
No.
I don't like Diane either.
Yeah. But it
Yeah.
is interesting that allegedly, of course, for me,
Whatever.
that they are like, oh yeah, it looks like a monk. It's dressed like a monk. And then apparently the people who lived in 30, number 30,
Mhm.
they saw this separate and away from their neighbor who reported seeing this and hearing banging, and allegedly this thing put cracks in her ceiling.
Oh shit.
So I know I didn't put all of that, in the story, but I did read it.
Yeah.
And
It's a lot of information.
it is a lot of information.
I think that's one of the reasons why I never went into it, is because of how much information there was,
Yeah.
and I can be lazy.
See, and I like all of that information, and that's fascinating to me. But as we know, nobody wants to hear me drone on and on and on about history. So, whatever.
Whatever.
But like, there really was a monastery there.
Nice.
There really were monks there.
Okay.
There's like a lot of different speculation saying that this black monk
Uh-huh.
was hanged for his crime and then thrown in a well, and the house happens to sit on top of that well.
Okay. All right.
And then there's another one that's saying that the monk that was actually executed was innocent, and then it was his twin brother. We're getting into some soap opera stuff here.
Ooh.
That actually committed the crime, and so this.
Hold on. Cue the soap opera music. All right.
And that it's this ghost is the innocent man, but he's pissed.
He's pissed because of what his twin brother did.
Yes, and that he suffered the punishment for something
I
he
am
didn't
your
do.
twin brother.
Yeah.
Alejandro.
Yeah. So, but and then they claim, because we can't find any evidence of this monk having existed. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Do you think the monastery wants to keep that information around to be found?
Yeah,
No.
that is that. You know what? That's fair. That's 100% fair.
Like it's
History is determined by the victors or by the
yeah.
people that control the information.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you see in movies and TV shows and things like that, predominantly with Catholic priests,
Mhm.
when one of them does something they shouldn't, they're shipped off to a different
Mhm.
parish somewhere else across wherever they are.
Yes.
And they don't we don't talk about that one anymore.
Yeah.
And then because that actually happened in the TV show Saving Grace.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so they just shipped this priest somewhere else,
Uh-huh.
and then they brushed it under the rug.
Yeah.
Because when you have something like a monastery or a parish and something bad happens, you don't want that person representing you. You
Yeah.
brush that under the thing, and that's in anything.
Yes,
That's
yes.
that's
And
politics, religion, all the whole everything.
that is true.
Yeah.
And
Like
there
that
there
CEO
is
got caught on the kissing cam. She's, by the way, the woman that got caught with him.
Yeah.
It was his little side hustle.
Yeah.
Hussy, I mean. She's mad
At
because
Coldplay.
yes, because
Yeah.
the lead singer never reached out to her to see if she was okay. Why does he care about your lying
You were cheating.
hoe and ass? Like, he does not give a damn. You need to calm down, ma'am. Anyway, sorry. Like, they, very quickly, they were like, we need to get rid of all of this, and they, brushed it under the rug. So, you're not going to find anything about this monk if he really did exist.
Yeah.
You were going to say, I'm sorry.
No, yeah. There's definitely been some. A lot of evidence of different churches and all that. Something would happen and they move.
Yeah.
It's been documented.
Yeah,
of stuff like that happening.
It's in anything big, any major type of conglomerate, religious housing, anything like that. Something disturbs the status quo, you get rid of it as quickly as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to control the narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and you're looking at back in like the 1540s, I think, is when I read that monastery got shut down by Henry VIII.
Mm.
And so you're looking that far back. For one, it's going to be hard to find a lot of documentation anyway. That's 1540, guys. Come on.
That's a long
and
so time ago.
You also have to think: did they even
keep records?
When he did start if he was real and he started acting a fool, did they just get rid of the fact that he was ever there to begin with?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's like I said.
So
history is determined by the people that hold the knowledge.
But it does kind of it asks or begs the question, because if this monk really did exist and he really did do that horrible thing, it would make sense why he was so much more violent with her than he was with Philip.
Yep. That's crazy.
It is quite fascinating.
Yes, it is. Okay. Well, are you kind of getting ready to get out of here?
I have some shrimp to go cook.
Okay. Yeah. That's definitely. Let's get the hell out of here then. Yeah.
I feel like we had something that we wanted to share, though.
Did we?
Do we have updates?
No updates.
How rude. Where are you people at? I know that Luis did text us.
Oh, yeah.
At like 5-something in the morning, which I predicted.
Yes,
it's going to be early, and I'm like, not answering that. You answered it because you were awake. I was not awake at 5-something in the morning.
Yeah, he stated that he does still listen.
Oh,
so
good.
Thank you, Luis.
Yes.
Appreciate
yes.
you.
My mother is catching up. She texted me actually while we were recording this and is not happy about our split 2-part episode. She's like, I have to wait till tomorrow to listen to the rest of this. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
It was
not my choice.
It was a whole story, and I'm happy I read it.
Yeah,
that was a great story as well. No, there's no updates.
That's where y'all at. Come on, guys.
Well, they said, well, there was a quick message. Which episode was that? It was the Haunted Houses Galore. Right?
I know the names, but I don't always know the episode number. And if I know the episode number, I might not always know the names.
Oh, Will You Take This Beast?
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
I have no updates on that one. on that
Man, you
episode.
guys are making me sad.
I know. I want to see some more updates. So hopefully, no cardiologist will.
Oh yeah, dude, your story was amazing.
Yeah.
Your story hands down beat my story. Like hands down.
Okay, well, before we get out of here, let me go ahead and plug the other podcast,
Chills and Thrills.
The Chills and Thrills.
Oh my gosh, amazing!
It's such a great show. Such a great show. Not just because I'm on it, but I love
Talking about movies.
talking about movies. I love Connor. Great guy there.
And I disappoint you because I've not seen all the movies and Connor has.
Yes, and
Yeah.
so that's why
You
me
just-
and him have bonded.
Yeah, he's just your friend who you can talk to about that because your wife let you down.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
what do you guys do in this podcast?
We talk about movies and
Any and all movies?
Any and all movies, just depends on what we decide to talk about. And this year, 2026,
Oh, we love
is-
2026.
is year of the franchise.
Ooh.
So we are running through some franchise movies.
What franchise are you on right now?
Scream.
Ooh, it's the only horror movie I'll watch, guys.
It's such a good franchise, and we are just giving it all the love that it deserves.
All right.
It's a total love fest. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that. Like it's great.
All right. And where can we find this podcast?
All major platforms.
No way, Jose.
Yeah,
Including YouTube?
including that one.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. And then, you know who else you can find on YouTube?
Who?
Us.
Us?
The Make Me Believe podcast can be found on YouTube.
No way.
Uh-huh.
That's
And
crazy.
all
What?
other major streaming platforms.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
And we can be found on Facebook too.
on the Book of Face.
Mm-hmm.
Love
And
it.
you can find Chills and Thrills on there too.
You know what's crazy? I'm thinking about making a one of those AI pictures of this story that I read today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just put that in there.
I'm thinking about it. So maybe.
Maybe.
All right. Okay. Well, other than that, that's all I got for today. So before we truly head out of here, I got a quick question for you, love.
And I have a quick answer for you, dear.
All right. Do you believe?
No.
No?
Not even a little bit.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna get yourself on this one.
No. I did
Okay.
find the history fascinating though.
Fascinating.
I actually would have preferred more history on the monk and monastery stuff.
Right?
I
That
know.
would have been good.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.